shoot them, stab them, choke them, chain them, scary basements, kidnap, torture, stranger danger. Better remember, there's a lot of desert out there. And by the way, it's our 100th murder show today.
Wow.
Honestly, he enjoys himself so much.
Hi, everyone.
Oh, hey, guys.
Welcome to another episode, a very special episode of It's About Damn Crime.
Woo.
Now, I'm Brittany.
I'm Justine.
I'm Scott.
And it's our 100th episode.
Hey! Woo! Before we get started, we gotta pop this bottle.
Yes.
Our celebratory bottle.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's not that serious. You gotta pull it off with your hand.
Oh, it doesn't come shooting out?
No.
Oh, lame.
Unless you shake it up.
And don't shake.
Scared the shit out of me. It came out really easy.
The most satisfying sound ever.
I'll give you the honors.
Thank you.
Right, let's do a little toast.
Little bubbly.
I bet you that would have shot out if I just tried.
Benson, you can't have any. Don't
You have to
even
shake it for
try.
the carbonation makes it shoot out.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was like a little shaken up already.
Yeah.
Steamy.
Because it almost shot out of my hand.
Scott, you
Thanks, Scott.
Take yours.
Wow, that must be the most annoying sound in the mic ever.
Sorry, yeah.
Just drinking with a couple of old ladies.
I
Yeah.
already took my wig off.
No, you're just old by default.
True.
No wig required.
No wig required. Thanks, bitch.
Okay, so
All right.
cheers
Guys, to 100
episodes.
Ugh.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, that's good.
I really like champagne. All right. Well,
Yum.
shoot. Who would have thought we would have made it this far, huh?
I know.
Not me.
2.5 years ago?
Yeah.
Started this journey.
Started from the bottom, now we here.
That was embarrassing.
Wow.
Shut up. I still have my grandma wig on.
Yeah.
I'm looking like a sexy grandma.
Heck yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, if you guys want to know what that's all about, head over to the YouTube. We got a video for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we asked you guys for audio recordings to wish us the happy 100th, and we are going to jump in with our first one right now.
From Jackie. Okay.
The many things I love about It's About Damn Crime. The beautiful, awesome ladies and Scott. And you guys have been my therapy. Never realized how many weird things happened to me until I started emailing you guys. It's been awesome getting to know you guys. It's awesome listening to you guys. You guys are my number one podcast that I listen to, that I look forward to. Keep it up. Happy 100th.
Aw, thank you, Jackie.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I love Jackie.
I'm gonna get emotional.
I know. I feel like I'm gonna cry on this one.
Yeah.
It might happen.
So Scott, stop.
Sorry, I was playing Benson.
It's so weird. You get into this room and you're like so in love with your dogs.
No, you know what it is? It's his ADD. Like he
Oh,
has
he
to
can't
do
just sit here.
something. Yeah,
I
he
got
can't
you.
just
I
sit
got
here
you.
and do nothing. He's got to either play with something, play with Benson.
Maybe we need to get you into those fidget spinners, like your
Oh my God,
13-year-old
we should.
boy from 2 years ago.
So, any update about our lives or anything? Yeah, we're recording this like
2 weeks in advance.
2 weeks in advance. We're recording this after episode 99.
Yeah, and it's May 1st, so go pay your rent, guys.
It's gonna be May. Well,
No!
it is May.
I don't think... Oh, you know what happened? This happened, like, recently when we're recording this, not when this is coming out, but I got stuck in major traffic going to work the other day, and I got stuck in the airport tunnel for a half hour.
Damn.
And I
What?
felt like I was going to die.
Oh, no.
It was like
sounds horrible.
It was like pitch black, minus the car headlights. But I kept thinking, like, if this thing collapses, I'm gonna be buried alive in here.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't breathe. And then the radio went out, so I was like sitting in silence, and then I wanted to cry.
Because it collapses so often.
Yeah.
all the time.
All the time.
Oh my god! And then I was like, oh, bitch, you're a little bit claustrophobic, I think.
Yeah.
I bet you that's what everybody thinks is the people that it does collapse on. They're like, oh, wait, it never fucking collapses. Like, what are the odds it's going to collapse on me?
Fuck that, dude.
I mean, can you imagine being stuck in there?
When I go through the airport tunnel, I need to get the fuck out of there ASAP.
Yeah, no, stuck in there
Like,
for
I
a half hour.
P2 on that bitch and get out of there. I hate
No,
it.
it was the most horrifying experience in my whole entire life.
Somebody has to be the one in the million. You know what I mean?
Did it collapse on?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's one thing I don't want to think about.
Can you imagine? There's like a big time one in Florida recently, wasn't there? Like within the past year.
I
Did
don't
a
know.
tunnel collapse?
Yeah. Or a bridge collapse, I think. And it
That
just
would be
came down on people.
that would be like the way that I would get buried alive. Like someone wouldn't put me in a box and bury me alive that way. Like some weird bullshit tunnel would collapse on me and I'd be stuck in the tunnel.
I don't think you're making it out alive if that shit collapses.
Yeah, no way.
I think it's instant dead.
That's so much concrete on you. Collapsing on you. No way. You're
so
not
I would
making
just
it
die
out.
instantly.
You become
Yeah. That's
accordion
fine.
like in the cartoons.
I'd rather be an accordion than buried alive.
You're gonna become accordion.
Oh yeah, accordion.
Oh my god. But yeah, so that happened to me.
Shit, I'm trying to think of anything in our lives. Nope.
How exciting you guys are.
We're so boring.
Wow. Tight.
Dude, I'm jealous of other people that live in other states because they get to have actual seasons aside from just winter and summer.
Winter 30 and 130.
Yeah. Just dramatic differences. There's no in between. There's no gradual increase or decrease in
it
temperature.
happens
It's
so
just
fast. Like within a week, it's fucked up summertime again.
It was spring here for like 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
We were
And
having
now it's
days in
hot
the
as fuck.
60s, and then it was just 90 today.
And now it's all downhill from here. Anyways, all right.
okay.
I don't want to be the podcast that has resorted to talking about weather, so
Yeah.
let's do another audio.
So this one is from Tanya.
Happy 100 episodes. I thought you were going to say it with me.
Happy Easter.
I thought you were going to say 100 episodes with me. Can you say it with me?
Okay.
Happy
Birthday.
birthday. It's not their birthday, it's their 100. What are you got me saying it now? Okay. Say
Happy 100th episode.
Oh, there it is.
congratulations. I love the show.
Dun, dun, dun.
That was a good one.
I love it. Thank you, Tanya. And son.
Oh my god. That is
Oh.
so cute.
I love that so much. We haven't listened to these yet, you guys.
No,
so
we
this
haven't.
is a brand new experience for us. That's so
Definitely.
funny. Okay, let's do one more before we get started.
Okay. This one is from Bianca.
Our tried and true.
Banaka.
Banaka. Yes.
Banaka.
What up, my bitches? It's Bianca. I just wanted to say happy 100th episode. Oh my God, you guys did it.
How?
And I'm so proud of you that you keep bringing the cases that people haven't heard of, bringing them some exposure, even if there's not a lot of information on them.
Like 2 paragraphs.
And who knew that 100-ish weeks ago that you guys would become some of my best friends? That Justine would give me a son in the form of Charlie, who is very bad, but I can't help it. I'm an absentee mother.
It's got Bobby
And
issues.
who knew that Brittany and I would bond over our love of makeup and the fact that we are sweaty, sweaty monsters. And the fact that Scott and I love to read and examine ideas in books, but also that I can make fun of him so much. But it's okay because he knows I love him. So here's to another 100 episodes. And I have 100 episodes to figure out what I'm going to say next time. Love you. Mwah.
We
thanks,
love
Bianca.
Bianca. Bianca has been one of the best gems that have come out of this podcast.
Yeah. Dang, she's been with us from like
The
beginning.
jump. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see you in New Orleans, Bianca. She's like, you know, you can always come to my room when you get annoyed with Scott. And I was like, oh no, me and Scott travel very well together. You mean when I get annoyed with Brittany?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be there.
That's the one you gotta watch out for.
Oh, it's so funny.
All right. So,
Thanks, Bianca.
Yeah, thank you, Bianca.
Thank you, Tanya, and thank you, Jackie.
Yes, thank you. All right, so we have a couple more, but we're going to play them.
At the end.
At the end.
And then the intro.
Yeah. We're going to play them after.
We're going to pepper them after the story.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so are we ready to just jump in this story?
And this bitch? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah, almost a bitch.
Up in this bitch.
Up in this bitch.
Yep, let's go. Ooh, I'm getting a little bit buzzed.
Oh, shit. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
On May 13th, 1931, in Crete, Indiana, in a tiny rundown farm,
Rundown.
James Thurman Jones and Lynetta Putman welcomed into the world a baby boy. But he was no ordinary baby boy.
He was a superhero.
Yeah.
No.
Well, this baby boy would grow up into a monster and eventually would be responsible for the greatest loss of American civilian life in a deliberate act. Until the September 11th attacks, of course. Yeah. And that baby boy, if you haven't guessed yet, well, his name was James Warren Jones, a.k.a. Jim Jones.
Jimmy Jones.
All right. Now, we're sure as true crime fans, you have heard of the Jonestown Massacre. Okay, guys? Hello. But you definitely haven't heard it with our IADC twist.
Nope.
No way. Which basically just means that for the next however minutes we're sitting here, we're going to be talking shit about Jim Jones.
Which is, I think, is one of Justine's, like, favorite. Like, she's really looking forward to it.
Sis-headed.
So now if you're curious about why we picked Jonestown for our 100th episode, well, number one, Brittany, I love a good cult. I love a cult. I love all the cult stories given to me. Mm-hmm. Number two, Justine loves
Jim Jones.
Jim Jones.
Yeah.
A.K.A. what, Justine?
I hate him with every fiber of my being. I hate him so much.
And most importantly, number three, the Jonestown Massacre falls exactly in line with what we are doing here on this podcast. Mm-hmm. Because out of the... It was right, like 908 to 918 victims. That number varies. Yeah. So out of that, range of numbers, 68% of them were Black people, and 45% of that 68% were Black women.
Yeah.
Which we feel like is like a number you don't really hear. You don't hear often when people are talking about Jonestown.
I had never heard about that number until I looked it up.
Yeah. And we aren't even going to get into the amount of child deaths. Well, not yet. Not yet anyway.
No.
That'll come later. But before we get there, we need to talk a little bit more about Jim Jones as a child. That's what we normally do here.
Yeah,
we always start in the beginning.
Yeah.
And work our way to
and
why
I feel
we're
like
all here.
That's what makes this story like so interesting too. It's just like to hear about him, like what made this monster
a monster.
Yeah. What the fuck happened? Okay.
So let's get into it.
Here we go. James Sr. and Lynetta got together during the Great Depression, and after mustard gas, which was like a chemical warfare during World War One.
Yeah.
And it leaves large blisters. If it touches your skin, it leaves blisters all over your skin, and if it gets inside you, it'll leave blisters all over your lungs.
Fucks you up.
Yeah. So it had burned the shit out of James' lungs in, like I said, World War One. And when he got home, he just collected disability and didn't really work.
Dude, World War One was fucked up.
Yeah.
Lynetta had to become the breadwinner for the family. I feel like that's right in line with what this episode is. NASCAR Indy 500 driving down the street at 8:30 at night.
Hate them.
Okay. Anyways, so Lynetta had to become the breadwinner for the family, and she worked her ass off. She did factory work, like whatever job she could pick up, this bitch did.
Mm-hmm. I know she left like at the ass crack of dawn and wouldn't come home until it was dark outside.
The booty crack of dawn.
Yeah. And then would come home and take care of all the household shit too.
Yeah.
You know, James Sr. was sitting at home, not capable of doing anything.
Yeah, no.
Even though he wasn't working. Whatever. So she wasn't happy about it, right? She didn't want to work. She didn't want to come home and take care of the household.
Who would be happy about that? You
Yeah.
work all day long and then you have to come home and cook and clean.
Yeah. But you know how you hear like stories about these badass women that work so hard and then they come home and they do all this shit for their family and they
Hey
just,
man,
like,
sometimes we need help.
And they
Sometimes
just
people just need help.
thrive and survive. Well, Lynetta didn't like it. She hated it, and she made sure everybody fucking knew. She did it, but she made you feel like shit about it.
Mm-hmm. In 1934, the family moved to Lynn, Indiana, into a shack that had no plumbing. There was like one bulb in the room with like hanging by a string. So of course that all sounds bad, right?
Yep.
But that wasn't the worst of it. The Jones family was not your normal family. They didn't hug or kiss each other. They never said, I love you, or something like, hey, good job, or you're doing a good job, whatever. There was no affection, no communication whatsoever.
I feel like after you've seen what World War One had to offer, you're going to come back and just bring misery to everyone around you.
And like the military back then didn't even address mental health at all, right?
Yeah.
So like now there's so much
Shit, they barely even do now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's so much different now and it's still not great now. So it's like back then, I mean, and this fool came back with blisters on his lungs.
They didn't even call it PTSD back then. It used to be
No,
called
the
shell shock. Yeah.
Crazy.
So little Jim Jones spent most of his time just wandering the streets, where he met a lovely elderly lady by the name of Myrtle Kennedy, who introduced Jim to church.
Wait, before we go any further, do you think that this is all Myrtle's fault?
Dude. When we were researching this case, like, you know, I know about this case, but, you know, we were researching or whatever like that. And I was like, bruh, if Myrtle hadn't taken him to church, would he have
Would
gotten
things
down?
have been different?
Yeah, right?
Whoa.
It makes you think. Now,
This could all be Myrtle's fault.
yeah.
Could he have avoided church back in that day, though? That was when, like,
his parents didn't go.
Yeah. He was introduced to church by Myrtle.
By Myrtle. Myrtle took his ass.
Now,
And she didn't just take him to church.
like Hoser.
these were like over the top churches.
Yeah, this is like Bible Belt
those
churches.
ones where you speak in tongues, where you feel the quote unquote, you feel the Holy Spirit. You start going
talking
crazy.
about this the other day.
Where you convulse.
Yeah. Where you start dancing and run around like crazy with your hands up in the air,
Yeah.
convulsing. Like, oh my goodness. I remember the first time I saw that, I was like,
Whoa, what's happening?
and I was like young.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is happening?
It's
There's
scary at
something
first.
wrong.
You're kind of like,
Yeah, like what is happening here?
I don't know if I would be able to resist laughing. There's no way. Like, you guys
now
are
as
out
an
your
adult,
damn
Yeah,
mind.
now as an
100%
adult,
you would laugh. But
yeah,
as a kid, you're kind of like,
You look like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So anyway, Jim loved church because at church he finally got the love and attention he wasn't getting at home.
Yeah.
Which I feel like that mostly, like, not going to church, but I mean, like, when a child isn't getting attention at home, they seek it somewhere else.
Yeah.
By doing, either acting out.
Normally
Or-
on this podcast, they join gangs.
Yeah.
And we have gang shit.
Yeah.
This episode, church.
Church shit. Just church things.
By the time Jim was 10, he started preaching his own sermons to the younger kids. Okay. So, he was taking family pets, killing the family pets, and then forcing the kids to go to their funerals.
Right there.
It's a great sign.
It's a fucking red flag. Like, bright red flag.
Yeah, but in the what was it, the 40s by now? Maybe early 50s, 40s.
40s.
Yeah, there's no such thing as red flags.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just kind of crazy. Don't worry about him.
Yeah.
That's just what he does in his spare time.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. I think people thought, like, oh, it's cute. He's holding services.
Yeah. But
Preaching sermons.
Little did they know he was killing killing the pets.
And then a lot of times, like, the younger kids would go, right? And then they would want to leave, and he'd be like, hell no. And he'd lock them up so they couldn't leave.
Yeah.
And,
You don't want us to have a service for you next, do you, Billy?
but if that's not foreshadowing, what actually is, right? He had a neighborhood kid. There was a neighborhood kid that he hung out with that he said he locked him away a couple times, and that he also shot him with his BB gun.
Yeah.
And that he was like, yeah.
He had like one of those like mischievous smiles on his face.
Oh, we're not off to a great start here,
that
Jim.
evil smile.
Yeah.
Now, Jim was really smart. He loved to study Stalin, Marx,
Nice.
Mao,
Wow.
Gandhi, and Hitler. There,
There's a few opposites in there.
right?
Gandhi?
What?
Gandhi and Mao in the same sentence. Huh?
And Hitler. But, like, he specifically liked to study their strengths and weaknesses.
Like, I don't think he was trying to learn any sort of life lessons.
Yeah,
He was mostly like, how'd they get to the top?
How did they get successful?
And how'd they get brought down?
Yeah,
Ways
exactly.
to manipulate the masses.
Yes.
Now, anyways, both Jim and one of his childhood friends claimed that James Sr. was involved with the Ku Klux Klan. And we don't know if that's 100% true.
Yeah,
we don't know.
There's conflicting reports on that.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were white back in the day and you were from the South, which I kind of consider Indiana, even though it's not really, you're probably involved with the Ku Klux Klan in some fashion.
Now, Jim said that that after his father wouldn't allow one of his black friends into their family home, he refused to speak to his father for many, many years after that. Which, you know, this may be one of the few times we ever say this to Jim, but way to go. Way to go, Jim.
Yeah.
Just on that part. But that's it.
I mean, he did some good things. Until it all went
until it went all left and went crazy.
I mean, he killed all his animals, but at least he held a service for him. Come on.
Yeah, he made sure they went to heaven.
Yeah.
So eventually, Lynetta found a man that was going to take care of her instead of the reverse, and she left James Sr. And she and 16-year-old Jim moved to Richmond, Indiana. He was often seen carrying around his Bible in the poor black neighborhoods of Richmond, where he preached about racial equality. Again, guys, this is during the time of segregation, discrimination, like, black people were treated horribly. So for them to see this white teenage boy, like, sitting there with his Bible, saying, like, hey, yeah, we should all be equals.
He was woke.
Yes. Exactly.
Thanks for putting it in words we understand.
I got you.
Thanks for simplifying that.
I got you.
I was lost there for a second.
So, as a teenager, he was pulling in groups of like 20 to 30 people on the corners who were stopping and listening to him. And then there, he's getting power, right? Because
And attention.
Yeah, these people are listening to what he has to say.
Yeah. Jim graduated Richmond High School in December 1948 with early honors, and a year later, he married Marceline Baldwin, who was she was a nurse he met while he was an orderly at a hospital he worked at during high school.
I like the name Marceline.
Yeah. She was 4 years older than him. And, I mean, her parents did not like that. No. They weren't down with
that she was older than him.
That she was older.
He was like 17.
Yeah, he was 17. I think she was like,
21.
Yeah, she's 21. And,
Math.
Yeah. Math.
Hard.
Math is hard. And we only mention her because she really stuck by Jim.
Yeah.
Even when shit got cray-cray. And he wasn't nice to her because, in his opinion, she was, quote-unquote, too religious.
Which...
What?
What are you saying,
like,
Jim?
You go to church, but she's too religious.
She's too religious.
That doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. Got it.
I wonder if the whole time he's just thinking, like, this is all a sham. They use this to manipulate people. And then when people are too into it, he's like, whoa, you're actually taking this seriously?
Probably.
Idiot.
That's what I'm guessing his mindset is.
Yeah.
So, by the time this fool was 18, he had graduated high school, married a cougar, and was already attending...
21-year-old cougar, baby.
It was already attending Indiana University, Bloomington. Now, it was also at this point he decided that religion was stupid and that communism was where it was really at.
In 1951, Jim and Marceline moved to Indianapolis, and he started attending Butler University, where he earned a degree in secondary education 10 years after enrolling.
Whoa.
So now this fool knew how to be a teacher.
It was like the perfect storm, guys. But while he was earning that 10-year degree that should have been done in probably 2.
Yeah. Like, why did it take 10 years?
He was real busy.
He was real busy with the church?
Yes.
Random tangent. I have a friend who's going to school to become a teacher, just like a grade school teacher, and he's been in school forever.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing, bro?
So when Jim was 21, he decided that the Methodist Church was promoting social justice, so he wanted to join them and became a student pastor. He didn't make much money, so his side hustle was importing monkeys from South America and then selling them door to door.
Dude, how do you come across that as a job? Importing monkeys?
I don't know what. Okay.
We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah. So people are like, oh, he loved animals. When it came to the topic of the importing monkeys and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, he loved animals and blah blah, and it's like he's taking an animal that's not supposed to be domesticated, and selling them to households like a normal household. Yeah. It's like,
let alone the fact that he was dextering them before.
Yeah.
Fucking...
No one wants to talk about that.
What?
Yeah.
It's like, and then where the fuck did he get the monkeys? Like, who did he know that was supporting giving him the monkeys?
Yeah, how did he stumble upon that? How much money was he making,
It's gotta be good if you're importing monkeys and selling it. The more exotic the job title, the more you get paid, I feel.
Yeah. And real quick before we move on, we have 3 things happening here. We have, number 1, he's learned how to teach. Number 2, he's also learned how to preach.
Not one and the same.
Yeah. And lastly, number 3, he's also a salesman. I mean, if that's not a perfect recipe for a cult leader,
I don't think I've heard of a better lead up to a cult leader.
Right? Isn't like that the perfect making?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Crazy.
You couldn't do better in a TV show.
So when Jim was 23 in 1954, he left the Methodist Church because he felt like they were holding him back. They had too many rules. And he started his own busted church called Community Unit. He invited both black and white people to attend his services, and then he started laying hands.
Nice.
Because he had decided at that point that he was a prophet of God and he could heal people by just laying his hands on them.
Nah, he just saw how stupid people were, then they'll fall for it.
And the congregation, his congregation, they ate that shit up.
And Jim admitted to close friends that it was all a setup. Someone would come in with a fake ailment and he would lay his hands on them and then poof, they were suddenly healed. Mm-hmm. But they were never sick to begin with. Yeah. It was all a scam and a manipulation to get more people to follow him. And we are 100% sure that the people who did agree to be a part of this scam were also manipulated as well.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure he offered them, either they were paid.
Oh,
which people will do anything for money.
Yeah.
Or he's saying, like, I am some sort of prophet, messiah, and if you do this for me, you are going to get to heaven or whatever he was selling. Like, he was selling something to
Shouldn't
get
that
people.
in and of itself be a red flag? Like, if you're
Yes!
like, hey, what I'm saying is true, but can you fake it for me real quick?
I wouldn't be
People
surprised.
are dumb.
I wouldn't be
So
surprised
dumb.
if he got like even homeless people.
Yeah.
Like, especially them. Like, oh,
Yeah.
we'll give you a meal, or we'll give you money to.
Yeah. And he was such a
Fake an
smooth
ailment.
talker. I wonder how many times he was like, hey, brother, you have back problems. Let me heal them for you. Doesn't it? I mean, it's like making
Yeah.
up some bullshit that wasn't even real. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. So annoying. So,
It's crazy because like throughout the story, it's just gonna progressively get worse.
yeah,
and
it's just
worse
like a
and
further and
worse.
further build up.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't say it doesn't get better than this?
No, sorry. It doesn't.
In 1956, Jim bought he borrowed money and bought an actual pretty church building, you know, like stained glass windows. It had a steeple, like it looked like a church.
Little cross on top,
Yeah. White, you know.
double doors.
And he bought it in a racially mixed neighborhood and opened up his new ministry named Wings of Deliverance. And then was like, that's not a great name. Who wants to go there? So then he changed it to People's Temple. So People's Temple allowed every color person to be a part of their church. There was absolutely no, everyone was allowed.
Yeah. No racial discrimination.
Yes. And Jim and the People's Temple also started soup kitchens.
Soup kitchens?
Soup kitchens.
Got it.
Doesn't matter. Hispanic. Don't judge me. So they started soup kitchens. They collected clothes for the poor. I think they were giving out like something like 2,800 meals a month. Like, they were doing work. Mm-hmm. And they really focused their attention on the people who really needed it, which I feel like a lot of times churches don't. Like,
Yeah.
the last few times that I've been to church, every single one that I go to, they're like, tithe, give us money. We need to open a new East Wing. It's like, you're a church. Why do you have wings?
Yeah. It's like, you should give back to the people.
They should just drink Red Bull.
Give them wings?
Yeah.
I'm done with you.
That was the most dad joke that
Right?
has ever come out of your whole mouth. Can I have the champagne?
Okay. Now, when Jim was 28 years old and Marceline was 32, they had their first and only biological child, a son named Stephen Gandhi Jones.
Brilliant.
Because Jim really loved Gandhi.
Yeah. Then they became the first ever white family in Indianapolis to adopt a black kid, a son named James Warren Jones Jr.
Which, okay, I gotta say something here. I feel like they were trying too hard. Like, they were like, first son, don't make him a junior, who cares? But
Yeah.
now because we're adopting this black kid,
We gotta name him.
we gotta make him a junior
gotta make him a
just to be
junior.
extra, like, we're so
Yeah.
accepting. Mm-hmm. Suck it.
And then they adopted 3 more kids from Korea, and Jim started calling his family the Rainbow Family.
Like, they were a PBS show.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
The more you know.
In 1960, Jim accepted a head position of the Commission of Human Rights in Indianapolis. And once he was in that role, he worked to desegregate seating in restaurants and movie theaters. And he also demanded that more jobs be available for minorities in the police force and in hospitals. Mm-hmm. And if you guys are thinking that this episode has turned into a puff piece about Jim Jones, I promise you it hasn't, okay? This is just this part of the story where we wish we could go, okay,
Well, think about it.
the end.
Yeah.
You can't be truly evil the entire time if you want to have
No.
if you want to sucker
Yeah.
people into joining a group that you're starting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to be enticing in some fashion.
Yeah.
And
That's exactly what he's doing. He's showing, and look at, you gave the statistics in the beginning as to how many African Americans he had in his little group. Mm-hmm. And by being so inclusive, that's probably how he managed to get so many.
Oh, for sure. Especially during the times. You
Yeah.
know?
Definitely.
And
They're probably just looking for anything to belong to at that point because
I think a lot of people, or especially when this starts happening in like the 60s, 70s, like I think a lot of people were, it was like that real hippie free love generation, and people were kind of looking for something to keep them grounded, to
Yeah.
like almost feel like a home, you know, and he was offering this whole thing that was a community. It was a family, you know, and I think, like, it's important to talk about the good that he did just because, like, it's so crazy. I've been saying this whole time, but it's so crazy, like, how this person that did do good, whoa,
Just goes
like, how bad it goes.
Yeah.
It's all a front.
Yeah.
It's a facade.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna start to like go into the
descent.
Yeah,
now.
the descent
into madness.
Yeah, into madness. Thank you, Justine. In 1962, for some odd reason, well, we don't know, we'll never understand.
Yeah.
Jim Jones started to become obsessed with the end of the world. And he moved, him and his family moved to Brazil for a while. And in his absence, the People's Temple started rapidly losing members. So in 1964, he was forced to return because he was down to his last 100 church members.
Yeah. I read somewhere that he had read a Esquire article about the best places in the world to go during
to be safe,
an apocalypse or something.
an apocalypse or something. Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I gotta find this place. I gotta find this place."
Yeah.
So then he took off to Brazil. Why?
Is that like a good retreat?
I've heard some things. I've not heard great things about Brazil, so I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe back in the day it was a little bit better or something.
Yeah.
I heard it's pretty sketch.
Yeah. I'm sure there's
In
parts.
certain parts,
Yeah,
of
in certain
course.
parts.
Oh no, I'm sure there's
parts
gorgeous
of
parts too, but
Brazil that are amazed, but there are those, what are they called?
Favelas.
The favelas in Brazil.
So, the temple asked way more of its followers than regular churches. They required that all of their members spend Thanksgiving and Christmas with the church and not their family members, which, of course, was the whole thing to alienate them from their family.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what Jim wanted.
Then Jim started preaching about nuclear holocaust. And after that, the survivors would create a new socialist Eden on Earth.
Which, of course, the People's Temple people would be
the survivors. Yeah. And he said this was all going to happen on July 15th, 1967, which, of course, we all know came and went.
It came and went before Jonestown.
Yeah.
This is where I get upset. If you're in a stupid cult, because this happens all the time, and your leader is saying, the world is going to end on this day. I know it.
Yeah.
And then that day comes and goes. Isn't that the perfect time to call bullshit?
You got to do a side-eye Chloe like, what? And then you got to dip out. I mean, don't join a cult, but if you do, that's the time to leave. So,
I feel like if you have to tell somebody to not join a cult, then they're not going to see any warning sign.
Yeah. So, he started preaching about the nuclear holocaust, and that meant to Jim Jones that the People's Temple needed to move to Redwood Valley, California, because it was safe there.
According to
Jim Jones, yeah. So, in July 1965, Jim and his 140 members moved to California and opened a commune and started preaching about apostolic socialism and that he himself was a special manifestation of quote unquote Christ the Revolution.
That's not a thing. Speaking of bullshit. Dude, and then during this time too, like, he was talking, like, his friends, they were like, so, talking about him, about religion, he's like, I'm agnostic.
Oh my god.
What?
He's so dumb. I can't.
Pick a team, man. Pick a team.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like you said, Scott, it's just, he's just using this to get power.
Yeah. Anything he can say.
Yeah.
It's so easy to hide behind God.
Oh, yes.
How long has that been happening for?
Hence cults.
Ugh.
Cults still happen to this day.
So, at the time, people ate his shit up. And according to the temple, they had grown to 20,000 members. Okay? That's what the temple said. Come join us. We're huge. We've got 20,000 members.
So many people.
But in reality, they had recruited about 3,000 members.
That's a Trumpian inflation.
So the temple used 10 to 15 Greyhound type buses. They weren't actual Greyhounds, but they were, you know,
like a
Greyhound.
they weren't the actual dogs?
They weren't, no.
Oh, okay.
No. And they would move members all around the country for recruitment and fundraising. They would distribute pamphlets all along the way telling people about Jim's spiritual healing powers.
Quote unquote spiritual healing.
Then people would come out to the services to check it out. And just like earlier, members would pretend to be locals. So whatever area they were in, they'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm from your town and Jim Jones healed me.
Big ass scam.
Yeah. So they would fake this healing experience. And because people are gullible, they were at these events giving offerings, you know, when they passed the plate.
Yeah.
And they were raking in $15,000 to $25,000 per service.
That's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, until he got to the whole killing bit, I was kind of on his side. It's like, you know what? Take advantage of these idiots.
Scott loves a good con man story.
Yeah.
I love
I'm kind of with you, where it's like, if you can pull the wool over someone's eyes and like get away with it, then
I'm with it, man.
Dude, my favorite stories are the ones that was like, I almost got away with it, when they like escape prison and they're on the run for so long. And I'm like, hey, bitch, I know that's not correct thinking. That's not a good person's thinking, but I'm like, man, if you can get away with it,
Yeah.
hey.
But they almost got away with it, Steve.
No, they always get caught.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jim told his members that the temple would not bother to schedule a trip unless they could net $100,000 for the trip, and that they needed to be netting $1 million a year from this whole bus bullshit.
And potential recruits would be, quote unquote, checked out before they could join, which, you know, anyone was able to join.
Yeah.
They just needed to dig up some dirt on you to keep your ass in line.
Yeah.
Sort of like a blackmail-ish, you know,
Yeah.
blackmail. Now, representatives for the temple, they would go through your trash to try and find dirt. They would go into your home, and they would ask you...
This is my favorite con.
They would ask to use your restroom so they could, you know, go through your prescription bottles or whatever. They get your doctor's names, what prescriptions you were on.
Yeah.
Pretty smart.
Yeah. And then they would call your family and act like they were doing a survey, but really they were just collecting more information on you and your family. And then all that information Jim would use to his advantage during his shows. And he would pretend like, you know, because he was so close to God, he knew things about you that he shouldn't know.
Yeah. But really just his
his little
crew had gone and done a full investigation on you.
Yeah, his little minions.
Yeah.
Did some investigating.
It's a good con, man.
Hey, man.
$1 billion a year? Million, not billion. $1 million a year? That's not... I mean, in the 70s?
It ain't chump change.
Yeah.
No.
So, Jim Jones told everyone he was a prophet of God.
Of course.
And what have we always said, guys? We said it earlier. If someone is saying that they hear from God, they talk to God, they know God, they are God, generally, that's a crazy person. Don't follow them. No one is talking to God.
It's funny how way back then it was just so easy to get away with that, right?
Yeah.
But it's like now, if somebody claims to
talk to God
or be God or whatever, a normal person would look at them and be like, "You're crazy."
Yeah.
Some people would believe in them. That's how cults are created.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it makes me think if like all the Bible stuff, like the stuff that happened in the Bible, happened during nowadays. A lot of those people, like in the Bible, were talking to God, like the prophets, apostles,
like were they just crazy?
Nowadays, people would just dismiss it as like you're out of your mind.
That's what I mean.
Like none of it would ever.
Yeah. Ooh.
Weird.
No, let's not go down that road.
No. Don't add us.
What? I love it.
This is why I love cults so much.
It's so weird.
So interesting to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, let's just, in case we haven't made it clear, don't follow people that say they talk to God. Okay?
Yeah, no, don't do that.
And we could literally be here for hours talking about this. For, like, honestly.
Dude.
Hours. Hours and hours and
There
hours.
could probably be a part 2 on this.
Yeah, we could probably do 7 different parts about the 7 different sides of Jim Jones. Okay, but no one wants to listen for us that long.
No.
Especially not us.
Especially not you.
We gotta do some drinking after this.
Yeah.
So
here comes a quick abbreviated version of things between the move to California and then the move to, or I should, the creation of Jonestown.
yeah. In 1970, Jim Jones, he began a service in San Francisco. And in 1973, he declared that, quote, "For some unexplained reasons, I happen to be selected to be God."
So now
End
he's not a
quote.
prophet of God. Now he is God.
Now he is God.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Then 8 younger members, they defected from the People's Temple, which caused Jim, for the first time, to mention revolutionary suicide.
Hold that. Remember that.
Yeah. I mean, we all know the story.
Yeah.
We all know how this ends up.
Hopefully.
Yeah. If you don't know the story,
Well, now you know.
What rock have you been hiding under? This is what I want to know.
In 1974, Jim leased more than 3,800 acres of land in Guyana, South America, and began to build Jonestown. In 1975, Jim was named head of San Francisco's housing authority, and his power reached his all-time height in San Francisco. And he helped elect George Moscone as mayor and Harvey Milk as city supervisor. So later when all this shit happens, Harvey Milk is Jim Jones' biggest defender. Mm-hmm. Which I feel like we don't...
Milk?
Yeah. I feel like we don't hear that in the Harvey Milk story.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget this.
This is the most important part,
Yeah.
though. He also started doing drugs. He dabbled in the cocaine, and he was heavy into the meth.
Yeah.
Which made him extra crazy.
Yeah.
Milk or Jones?
Jones.
Sorry, Jones.
Okay.
Jones. On August 1st, 1977, after a news story broke out describing Jim as a cruel and paranoid criminal, Jim jumped on a plane and headed for Guyana. And between 1977 and 1978, a group of concerned relatives formed, and several lawsuits were filed for the return of children from Jonestown.
They were getting, like, letters from their family
Yeah.
members, like, we need to be rescued, we need to be saved,
Mm-hmm.
and no one was doing anything.
Yeah. So this...
Fucking Guyana.
Now...
Good luck.
This in turn caused Jim to start holding nightly meetings, which would last fucking all night, last hours. I think because he was doing the speed and the met, like it was just
He was
Go
like,
crazy.
I'm up all night high.
yeah.
The rest of you were
He
up all
would
night.
just go crazy.
Yeah.
And he was telling members that they're being surrounded by unnamed enemies, blah blah. You know, just crazy bullshit.
Yeah.
And by mid 1978, Jim conned nearly 1,100 of his People's Temple members to move to Jonestown in Guyana. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he conned 1,100, but it was only built for about 300 people. Mm-hmm. So right there, it's common sense that there's not enough food. Mm-hmm. And everything was in short supply. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
For
I think they had
1,100 people.
planned to grow their own food, their own everything,
Yeah.
and then they had enough crops for 300 people, but then this motherfucker was like,
More people kept
let's
coming and
quadruple
coming.
it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
More people kept coming and coming, and it just grew unstable.
So he forced the children to be separated from their parents, and then often separated the wives from their husbands.
Of course.
And then, of course, there was the sick sexual shit.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Are you saying there's sexual misconduct involved in a cult?
Yes. Yeah. Crazy. Did it blow your mind?
Hold the phone.
Did you not see it coming? So when People's Temple moved to Guyana and became Jonestown, Jim would publicly humiliate his followers. He would make them stand up like during service and be like, who here have I had sex with?
Yeah.
And they were forced to raise their hands.
Yeah.
And then when they wouldn't raise their hands, he was like, put your hand up.
Yeah. Because of course people would be hesitant.
Yeah,
you know?
like, I don't want to share my business.
Yeah.
Like, I just blew him. Does that really count?
He also would...
He did have mistresses.
Yes, lots of them. He would also make his followers strip and then fight in boxing matches where he would pit the elderly against the young. Like, why? Why?
This is when
He likes to bet on the underdog.
the meth really took a hold
Can you
of him.
imagine if you were that young guy that got your ass whooped by an old person? Oh my God. He forced one man to participate in homosexual acts in front of his girlfriend. And, not to mention he was literally sleeping with everyone he wanted. Man, woman, and child.
He's sleeping with dudes too?
Yeah. The children were allegedly...
Yeah.
Some people say he was. Some people say he wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and say that he probably was.
Yeah.
I don't think that was, like, beneath him, But all the people were told that they needed to be celibate.
Yep.
So they weren't allowed to have sex with anybody.
But he could have
But he
sex.
could have sex with everybody.
Why would you want to follow a god like that?
That's every fucking cult, though. Every fucking cult. The cult leader can have sex with whoever they want, but
You
the
better
cult
not.
leaders can't have sex with each other.
What?
The cult members can.
Oh, sorry. The cult members can't have sex with each
Yeah.
other. Sorry. The cult leaders.
And the best part was that he was doing them for them, not for himself. Sex was how he showed God's love to them. Okay?
Oh my God.
People were beat with paddles, and then they practiced suicide missions.
Yeah. There was a...
Often.
Yeah. There was one girl, one young girl, she got beat for... It was a stupid reason. She got beat with one of those sticks.
Mm-hmm. A switch?
A switch, yeah, thank you. She got beat so bad that her butt looked like hamburger meat.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Sure, it wasn't just cellulite?
She was a
That's
little
not
girl.
what
Oh,
cellulite looks
Stop.
like.
I didn't know it was a little girl. I'd say I feel bad, but I don't.
God.
Oh my God.
Okay, so this all brings us...
This all brings us to episode 100 where we don't give a shit anymore what we say, apparently.
So this all brings us to November 15th, 1978, when Congressman Leo Ryan from California arrived in Jonestown. He decided he needed to investigate what on earth was going on in Jonestown after so many people had come to him and told him that their family members were being held against their will.
It's weird that a congressman would leave the country for something like that.
I mean,
I guess I get it, but, like, what jurisdiction do you have down there? In Guyana?
Nothing.
Well, what are you going to do? Just try to convince... He's going to end up getting suckered, and next thing you know, he's going to be fucking some dude in front of his wife.
oh my God.
Maybe it was like a re-election year, and he had like this huge group of people saying like, your members of California are being held against their will in a different country.
Like, what are you going to do
and
about it? You have
their
to do something
human
about it.
rights are being, what's the word I'm looking for? Shit on.
There you go.
And you need to do something about this. And maybe it was close to election year, or who knows
Maybe.
what, where he was like, okay, I'll go, you know?
Poor congressman can't just tell him, like,
maybe he
well,
just-
your family members are fucking stupid for joining this
Yeah.
dumbass religion
Yeah.
and leaving to Guyana.
Yeah.
When was the last time you heard of Guyana? Never.
The only time.
Yeah. Maybe he just wanted to do it out of the goodness of his heart.
Yeah, maybe
I
he was
don't
just
know.
a nice guy. We don't know. We don't know Leo Ryan
We
personally.
don't know his life.
Yeah. So, Leo Ryan and the news reports.
News reporters.
Wow. Okay. So, Leo Ryan and the news reporters and photographers that he came to Guyana with were treated to dinner and an evening of entertainment in Jonestown. Okay, they put on a real good show for him.
They were singing gospel music.
Dancing.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, man, gospel music really makes you want to do a little dance, you know?
It makes you want to twerk.
I'm not sacrilegious, so no. No, it doesn't make me want to twerk.
I know there's a fucking video out there of somebody fucking twerking to gospel music. I know there has to be a fucking
God,
video
there's
out
no
there.
way there isn't, dude.
Oh, Lord.
But what the fuck was I gonna say? I forget now.
Way to derail.
That's how it went sideways so quick.
There's a video of everybody doing the gospel thing. They're singing. And it's actually a very beautiful thing to see.
Yeah.
Like, you just see, like, a diverse group of people.
Yeah.
And they're together and they're singing.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it was a nice thing to see.
So Jim even agreed to do an interview with the reporters, but during the evening, several members of the People's Temple asked Leo to help them escape. And
Does he have armed guards? What?
No, he had no jurisdiction there. Like, he just literally, I think.
No, I'm saying Jim Jones.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim Jones got armed guards.
He had his own military thing going on.
I think for Leo Ryan, it was like, let me go check it out. But he even told Jim Jones when they left, like, I don't think there's anything bad here. Like, everything looks pretty great. You know, if there's people that want to leave with me, I'm going to take them. But, I mean, keep doing you, boo-boo.
Yeah. So, I know that, I don't know if it was him or one of the reporters that even showed the note that he was slipped about a member asking him to help her out.
So one of the members thought that the reporter was Leo Ryan and slipped him a note. It was like, Congressman, can you please help? My name is blah, blah, blah. Can you please help
and he showed Jim
me
Jones?
And my wife, like, escape? Whatever. Yeah, they told him, like, we're going to take these people with us.
No, they showed the note to Jim Jones, and Jim Jones was like, well, he's like, these are just, like, I don't know what he was saying. It's not fucking, I forgot what the fuck he was saying, but he was just like playing it as
like, who cares?
It's no big deal.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, they're liars. He's like, they're liars, my friend, and blah, 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 this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
Like, if they want to leave, they can leave. But it's like, that's not the case. Like, they can't just fucking leave. You're saying that, but you're not treating them that way. Like, they can't just fucking leave.
At that point, they should have just gone to those people and be like, hey, you want to go? Let's go.
Yeah. So they did. They took, like, I think I want to say it was 15 people, but they only had piloted a plane for so many people.
Yeah. It was like,
so they had to call and bring another plane in. And there had been so many people that were like, okay, we want to go too, that they were like, you need to just, like, I don't have the aircraft to get you out of here, so you're gonna have to wait. I'll come back. He was like, Leo was like, I'll come back tomorrow and I'll come pick up whoever else wants to go, you know? Because as civilized people, if you don't want to be somewhere, you should be allowed to go.
Yeah.
And one of the People's Temple people, which is very confusing. Should have named it something different.
Members?
Yes, one of the members. They were like, oh, I want to go. And was like, the other members that actually wanted to leave were like, I don't know, I don't really trust this guy. But he pulled a knife and tried to stab Leo Ryan. And then they were like, okay, you got to go now because you're not safe here. Which is when everything starts to fall to shit.
Yeah. Now, on November 18th, Leo and his group left Jonestown with a few members of the People's Temple. And while they were waiting on the airstrip for the plane, this was the first plane, right? Mm-hmm. They were ambushed by gunmen. Oh, wait.
No, both the planes were there.
Both planes were there? Mm-hmm. I thought they had to wait for one.
No, they weren't boarding yet. So both the planes landed. They're waiting to board. And then the gunmen come out. They ambush them. They shoot and kill Leo and the 4 other people. And the plane gets hit in the process. So they have to move the pilot from one plane to the other plane. And then they kind of just, like, narrowly escape. Jesus. While the shooting's happening.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought that they were waiting for one, the other plane. Okay. So, yeah, like we were saying, you know, they were ambushed by gunmen that were sent by Jim. Mm-hmm. So Leo Ryan, 3 journalists, one member from the People's Temple were shot and killed, while 10 others were injured. But they had to wait 22 hours for help to arrive.
There was a lady and her daughter-in-law that were leaving, and the lady said that she turned around and that they had blown the daughter-in-law's head off.
Yeah, that's so sad. Ugh. There was another one where a woman and her, I think, 2-year-old son, they wanted to escape, and her boyfriend or husband was one of the military men for Jim Jones. And she was like, I had no doubt that if he caught me, he would shoot me.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Like,
yeah.
It just shows you, like, how hardcore people were into this cult,
like how
you know,
much
and how
following him.
Yeah.
There was that. He had his own fucking military.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Leo Ryan got shot 20 times. Like, he was already dead, and they just kept shooting him.
Yeah.
And
there was a survivor that was saying they were going to each individual person that was laying down already on the floor and just shooting them in the head to make sure that they were dead.
They were dead, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And imagine seeing that shit.
Well, it's crazy because there's video footage of when the shooting starts. And it's like, you just hear pop, 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 pop. And it's like, oh my God, like, what is happening?
Yeah. And one of the cameramen, their camera was still rolling when they were shot. So you see them, you know, the camera fall with them, and you just see the gunmen shoot. It's horrible.
And it just gets worse. So, all that practice suicide went into action.
That we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
Or mentioned earlier, sorry.
Jim told his congregation that soldiers were going to come for them and torture them. And he ordered everyone to gather in the main pavilion that was surrounded by armed guards and told them that it was finally time to commit that revolutionary act. Trigger warning, because we get yelled at. We're going to play a little bit. There was 45 minutes of audio recorded of Jim Jones while this suicide takes place. It's disgusting. It's heartbreaking. Right. We're, of course, not going to play 45 minutes of it.
Yeah.
We're going to play
like a snippet.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
Just the beginning of it. If you want to hear it yourself, feel free to Google.
YouTube it.
Yeah. His voice.
Okay. Justine hates it.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Also, he's got a lisp, but now that I said that, you're not going to unhear it. Okay, ready? Here we go.
How very much I've loved you. How very much I've tried my best to give you the good life. But in spite of all of that I've tried, a handful of our people with their lives have made our life impossible. There's no way to detach ourselves from what's happened today. Not only we're in a compound situation, not only are there those who have left and committed the betrayal of the century. Some have stolen children from others, and they're in pursuit right now to kill them because they stole their children. And we are sitting here waiting on a powder keg. I don't think this is what we want to do with our babies. I don't think that's what we had in mind to do with our babies. It was said by the greatest of prophets from time immemorial, no man takes my life from me, I lay my life down. So to sit here and wait for the catastrophe that's going to happen on that airplane, it's going to be a catastrophe. Almost happened here. Almost happened. The congressman was nearly killed here. But you can't steal people's children. You can't take off with people's children without expecting a violent reaction. And that's not so unfamiliar to us either. Even if we were Judeo-Christian, if we weren't communists, the world, the kingdom suffereth violence, and the violence shall take it by force. If we can't live in peace, then let's die in peace. We've been so betrayed. We have been so terribly betrayed. But we tried, and as Jack Beam often said, I don't know where he's at right this moment. Where's Jack? He said, if this only worked one day, it was worthwhile. What's going to happen here in a matter of a few minutes is that one of those people on that plane is going to shoot the pilot. I know that. I didn't plan it, but I know it's going to happen. They're going to shoot that pilot, and down comes that plane into the jungle. And we had better not have any of our children left when it's over, because they'll parachute in here on us. I'm telling you just as plain as I know how to tell you, I've never lied to you. I never have lied to you. I know that's what...
We're going to stop right there. Because you did lie to them. You lied to them repeatedly over and over again.
Oh my God.
Did he choose to have the creepy music in the background?
Dude. I want to know, because they're singing in the background. Is that pre-recorded?
I think that's
someone, or is someone in the background going...
No. I think it's just music.
There's like a weird two-tone, like...
Yeah. So
that I've listened to that tape before. It's so crazy to me. It's almost like a mob mentality where like
like a hive mind.
Yeah, like he's starting to spew this shit and then everybody starts feeding into it, you know?
So, the children were the first to die after their parents and caregivers used syringes to drop cyanide and sedatives into the Kool-Aid and then into their mouths. 304 kids died that day.
Then the adults drank the Kool-Aid. We had to do it.
That's where it comes from. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
And many of them died slumped over their dead children's bodies, which is like horrific.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Like, I don't have kids, okay? I'm not a parent. But like, I can't imagine having this little person that you gave birth to that you love. That's yours. That's your flesh and blood. Killing them. And being okay with it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be okay with it for very long.
A few people managed to escape and hide in the jungle, but when the officials arrived the next day to the compound, the death toll was at, again, it varies, 909 to 918 people.
Yeah. Jim Jones included. He was found in a chair, dead from a self-inflicted bullet wound to the head. It was like right where his temple was. Mm-hmm. Marceline was, and real quick, it was to his temple, but they don't know if it was, they don't actually know if it was self-inflicted or if a member shot him there.
Yeah.
So they don't know. Anyways, he was dead. He was found dead.
I feel like if a member had shot him, it would have been a bit more of a struggle and not just one clean bullet to the dome.
Even if he had someone shoot him, it's suicide because he made everybody commit suicide. If there's no struggle, there's no fight. It's still like, if I tell you, hey, kill me, that's still suicide.
Marceline was also found amongst the bodies. Jim's two sons were playing basketball at the time in Georgetown. So they survived. Jim, he tried to force them to come back, but Steven had refused.
He was like, nah, bitch, we're here for this basketball tournament.
Yeah.
We're going to show these Guyanese people who's boss.
Yeah. I know he also, there was a radio that they had, the kids had, and James Jr. I remember he said he got a call over the radio and his dad used code and said what was going down and that he needed to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And he's like, no.
Yeah. And these
I'm not going to do it.
poor kids. Oh, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So more than 400 guys, unclaimed bodies from Jonestown are buried at the Evergreen Cemetery in Oakland, California, which that means 400 people that had been disconnected from their families.
Yep.
And that just didn't know that they were probably in Jonestown.
Yeah.
Those are like unable to find any connection back to the U.S. is what you mean?
Yeah, like no one claimed them.
No one claimed them. So they're buried in like a
mass
grave.
Yeah.
But yeah, this I know some of the members they put up a fight when it was happening. This mass suicide, or what he called it, revolutionary suicide. Is that what he called it? Yeah.
Revolutionary something act. I don't know.
Anyways, when this was happening, I know some of the members even injected other people against their will with this shit, like this deadly shit, and it breaks my heart. You know, there were injection wounds on people's shoulders, on their backs. People were trying to get away and they couldn't.
Yeah,
fucked up to just sit there, be thinking in your mind like these people are out of their mind. Like I'm just gonna go along with it because I'm not gonna get killed like fucking.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get shot.
Leo Ryan.
And the thing is too is that like so he's like, okay, we got to do this revolutionary act. Let's all go to this, pavilion, but he's got it surrounded by armed guards, so it's not free choice.
No.
Like, that if you leave that area, you are going to be shot. So either way, you're going to die.
Yeah, one way or another. And he was saying that if they want to leave, they can leave.
Yeah.
But no, that's not.
Yeah, that wasn't an option.
That wasn't a thing. Like, you couldn't leave at all.
Of course not. He had to say that so he didn't look like a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the worst bad guy.
There were 2 kids. I was telling Justine this earlier. There were 2 kids that were trying to escape the compound, and they got caught by his guards, and they were brought back into the pavilion or whatever. And everybody circled them, and there's audio of him punishing them, like, you're filth and blah, 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 and just verbally abusing them.
Yeah.
And then one of their mothers jumps on the mic, and she says, you guys need to be punished, and I'll put a bullet in you if I need to. Or if there's a bullet that needs to be put in you, I want to do it myself. And it's like, you're really going to kill your child because they try to escape?
Yeah.
And it just goes to show, like, how far...
I don't know how sad I am to lose that lady.
No.
It just goes to show, like, how far deep into this hole that some of these members were in. You know, like...
It's hard... And this might sound fucked up, but it's really hard for me to find sympathy for some of these people. Like, the ones that were injected against their will, sure. The ones that were just maybe trying to get out and just playing along until the very last second, and then weren't able to get out, sure. But, man, it's hard for me to find sympathy for some of these people.
You have to think, too, that, like, a lot of times these people that do get involved with cults, they're usually weaker-minded, right? So it's like they are...
And sometimes they're vulnerable.
Yeah, and they have... Someone can say this, and they go, okay, they believe it, you know? So for some of them, all that preaching of, oh, the military is going to come now and you're going to be shot and killed. Like, let's do this revolutionary act. And now maybe they thought they were going to come out the other side in paradise, you know?
Yeah.
And for them, that was, I don't know.
And now they're in a mass grave in Oakland.
Exactly.
You say in Oakland?
That's where you said, right?
Yeah. So weird to me.
Yeah. And it's weird when you fly over. There was a newscast that they did. There was a special of survivors.
Oh my God, how funny. I was just going to bring that up.
Oh.
About the bodies?
What do you mean?
So they did a newscast of the flyover. Oh, is it, you're talking about
Sorry
later?
for the fizzing.
Yeah. Later, there was a newscast that flew over what was Jonestown, you know, and it's just trees now.
Yeah.
Nothing but trees. And
I read something that was like the jungle. Someone was like the jungle wanted to bury what had happened there.
Yeah.
You know?
It's crazy. It's crazy to think that. And, like, I know what you were going to bring up. When
the pictures, you guys, they're awful, of just like the 900 bodies stacked on top of each other. Like, you see it and it's almost like you're seeing a movie, or like, I almost in my head I'm like it's not real.
It's not real.
Yeah, but like those, I can't imagine being the people that came 22 hours later. Like, they had no idea
this happened,
that there was. They were walking into 908 bodies.
Yeah.
Like.
So excited for the service tonight. Oh my God.
One of the people in the helicopter said that when he looked down, when they're flying over, he looked down and he said it looked like crumpled up paper.
Yeah. Because
like,
they're clothes.
Because they're clothes. It
Yeah.
was so many colors, like red, yellow. But it just looked like crumpled up paper, just like scattered everywhere.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when they got closer, they realized those were dead bodies.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking crazy to me.
Like, and that number is astronomical. Like, that's a huge number. I'm going to Google right now because I honestly don't know. But how many people died in 9/11?
A little over... Man, now I can't remember, actually. I always get it mixed up with fucking Pearl Harbor for some reason.
2,996.
Okay, yeah.
Whoa!
I was going to say 2,300.
And that's, you know, triple almost.
Yeah.
But I think that, you know, a lot of those people perished in the towers. Like, that wasn't
their
3,000 bodies stacked on top of each other out in the wide open. Like, it's really horrific to see. And I want to say that if you haven't seen it, don't see it.
Don't see it. Because it's something that you can't unsee.
Yeah.
You know, once you've seen it, you have it in your brain.
Yeah. Also, that 45 minutes of Jim Jones spewing bullshit. Don't listen to it.
I gotta say, like, he was doing so good. He was doing so good. You know, bringing, you know, a diverse people into a church or whatever. It was a family. Everybody was happy. Whatever. Cool. Like, you want to bring black and whites together, Mexicans, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. So good. But then it's just like, when that power took over.
Yeah.
And then he mixed in got in with the drugs.
And he literally thought he was God.
And then he thought he was God.
Yeah.
It just went crazy. It's like, you could have just stopped. You could have just...
You can't go from not claiming your God to claiming your God. Because if you're God...
You should have been God the whole time.
You would have known you were God.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true.
You weren't just suddenly born God at...
Wait, hold on. I am God.
And he was 47 when he died. He didn't even make it to 50.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
He was sick.
Yeah, he was dying.
Yeah, he was dying. He was sick of
lung disease.
Yeah, lung disease or something. Yeah. He had something wrong with him.
Out, huh?
He had something wrong with him, and he was dying. So it's like he
had
really...
a case of the deadly lisp. As soon as he said it, I was like, "Fuck!" That's all I hear now.
You cannot hear it.
Yeah, he was already dying. So really, he just didn't give a fuck. Like, he was dying already. Who cared? Yeah. Like, if he would bring these fucking people down with him.
Yeah, and he didn't give a shit.
And he had such a negative view against religion, no matter what he claimed. He actually didn't believe in any of this, obviously. So he, in his mind, he was probably like, "Well, I'm gonna die anyway, so I'm just gonna take as many people out with me as I can, and nothing's gonna happen when I die."
Fuck him, dude.
I will be remembered forever. Maybe in a negative light, but I will be remembered forever nonetheless.
And that's his thing. He wanted to be remembered. So, fuck you, Jim Jones. I'm saying that, and I'm sticking with it.
Also, fuck that mom that says she was going to shoot her son. It's pretty fucked up.
I'm pretty sure that's happened, like... I'm sure she's not the only case. I'm sure that's happened to, like, a lot of the kids that try to escape, or the teenagers, or whatever like that, but...
Can you imagine your mom saying that to you? Like, you go down to this fucking weird-ass compound, and then your mom gets up on a stage. It's like, I'll fucking shoot you.
Yeah, I'll be the one to do it.
And as a child, like, you have no control over that. Yeah. Like, you can't say, like, no, I'm not going. Like, you have to go.
Yeah. But I was just appalled, like... Did this bitch just really say she would put a bullet in her son?
And before I forget, they held the kids, Stephen and James Jr. the second, I guess, because they thought that they were involved in the suicides. They were young, like 18 and 19, and they held them in prison for a while, or not in prison, in jail, because they thought
the authorities did.
Because they thought that they were involved. And, like, this, it sucks because, like, those kids...
They were indoctrinated in that from a young-ass age.
They were born into that. And this legacy will follow them till they're gone.
Yeah.
And it's going to follow their kids and their kids.
It sucks, man.
You know, like, forever. And it's not their fault.
Man,
they
probably have a morbid sense of humor, man.
I know.
I thought my sense of humor is dark. I can only imagine being the son of Jim fucking Jones.
And I don't know what happened to the Korean kids.
I don't know what happened to them at all, but one of the I saw an interview with the son, James Jr., and he was saying, my dad was great to me. I love him. But...
And how confusing.
But no, he said, I love him, but I hate him.
Yeah.
So, and like, he loved him, how he raised him, and how he treated him. You know, as his dad. But he hated him.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Korean kids are like, these fucking American people
are
crazy,
they're dead.
And they're just out.
I don't know what happened to the Korean... That's the only thing. I just don't know what happened to the Korean kids. Also...
Americans lost their damn mind.
Another thing... I believe there's audio of it. When the mass suicide was taking place, Marceline, Jim Jones's wife, she was trying to get him to stop. She was pleading, don't do this. And he was like, oh, mother, I think that's the part where he's like, mother, please, you know, just saying whatever the fuck he was saying. But, like, she was even saying, like, don't do this.
It's so hard to take you serious right now with that old lady makeup on.
Oh,
really
and your blue-ass eyeshadow. It's so hard.
Sorry. And then there was another, I believe it was another member. I don't know if she was a mother or what, but she was saying, like, please don't do this. You know, please, like, pleading to him, please don't do this to our kids. Like, we don't want, please, no. And he was just not listening to her.
Too bad, so sad.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sorry, not sorry. That was his mentality of it. But, like we said, we could go on for
honestly hours.
We could talk so much shit about him and all the information that. But I mean,
I told Brittany, I was like, 100th episode. Can we do Jonestown? Can we do Jim Jones? Because Jim Jones is honestly like one of the funniest people.
Sorry
to me.
for the fuzzing.
Not funny because all these people are dead and he's a monster, but just him himself. The hair, the glasses, the voice, the lisp, like who in their right mind looked at that man and went like, that fool's the Messiah. I'm gonna follow him.
I don't know.
Like
that's Jesus right there.
Motherfucker look like Elvis.
He's God. Ugh.
It's so funny because when I first, because there were like black and white pictures of him. When I was younger and I first heard about Jonestown and the murders, I thought he was black, but like a light-skinned black because it was black and white pictures.
Yeah.
And you're also thinking about Jim Jones, the rapper / producer.
No, that would have happened later in life.
No, I'm just saying she used to watch Love and Hip Hop, so that's probably the first Jim Jones that really comes to mind.
Jim Jones, yeah. So I thought he was a black guy.
Yeah.
And then, I, learned that he was a white guy, and I was like, oh shit. And it just sucks that he preyed on these.
He took something, he could have done good. Like, he did do good.
Yeah,
but he could have really done good.
Yeah.
Probably could have made a difference in this world.
Yeah.
Instead, he
just
committed a massacre.
He fucking crazy, yeah.
Wow.
Jeez.
And that just goes to show, like, what power can do to a person. Like, to an already fucked up person. I was texting Brittany the other day, and I was like, this motherfucker killed 908 people because his mommy never said that she loved him and never hugged him.
Yeah, I said, like, mothers, hug your children, please. Tell them
you love them.
Show them some fucking love. Otherwise, serial killers happen. This shit happens. Cult leaders happen.
Dads too.
Dads too.
Crazy.
Somebody show your kids some love. Man, do it.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay.
Right. Are we done?
We're done with Jonestown.
Guys, sorry if we didn't cover it all. We didn't get all the information. Maybe it was a little inaccurate, some of it.
But, we didn't want to...
It is what it is.
We didn't want to do like a two-parter here. We kind of just condensed it all.
We wanted it to be succinct.
Yes. Such a fancy word.
Succinct.
He's
not always got to be so fancy.
Well, he's a white man.
Okay.
All right, guys. So that was the story
of Jim Jones.
Yes.
And Jonestown.
We have... this week we're not going to do Stranger Dangers. We're going to replace them with some Happy 100th episode. Audios, because we're already running soups long.
Yeah.
Soups.
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 Totes. Okay. So, all right. So now we have a audio from
our other favorite Scott. Yes. This is Scott of
Karaoke
Biggie.
Okay.
This is Big E. Here we go.
Big motherfucking E.
Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
This is Big E from the Karaoke Big E podcast, and
I love his voice.
My man, I was about to say, my man's voice.
Dude, that voice is so good, and he's a great singer.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
I'm continuing.
wanted to congratulate It's About Damn Crime on their 100th episode. And remember, you can't be a star if you don't shine. Peace.
I love him.
Thank you, Scott.
Ah, dude, Scott's been a day one too.
Yeah,
we love Scott.
Yeah, I love Scott.
And I know we told you guys before, I should say, that you should go check out Karaoke Big Game.
Yeah, if you love karaoke, and they got amazing voices.
It's so much fun, honestly.
So much fun.
It's like a Friday night every single episode.
You find yourself singing along to their...
You're like, and then when they get it, you're like, ooh, hey.
Yeah, okay.
It's great.
Next audio we have is from Krista.
Oh.
Okay, Krista.
Who's Krista? Just kidding.
I don't know. Justine's cousin.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Congrats, guys, to making it to episode 100. I couldn't be more proud of you. Just hearing about it from its inception and knowing all of the hard work you ladies put into this podcast makes me appreciate it that much more. So keep up the good work. I'm excited to see where this takes you. And thank you for being so good to your fans. You guys have the best ones. And I know they love you a lot because you love them a lot. So anyways, woohoo, 100.
Oh, thanks, Krista.
That's my cousin Krista, who has also been a day oneer.
She recorded it while on a pier.
While
on a
driving,
pier while driving.
Who is also responsible for our 100-year-old lady makeup.
Yeah.
So thank her, you guys, for the YouTube video.
Yes. Okay, next one we have is from Gabby.
All right, let's hear it.
We have we have two Gabbies.
Gavi.
This is... Okay, hold on.
I cannot believe it has been 100 episodes. This is so freaking crazy that you guys have been in my life for this long already. I love you guys so much. Scott, too. And I also thank you guys for bringing Bianca into my life because we wouldn't have met if it hadn't been for your podcast. Keep it up, girls. I love you guys so much. And Scott, too. Bye.
Don't lie, Gabby.
Okay, wait.
Scott, too.
Gabby said...
You got allowed to kick it?
Gabby said another one.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
What does the follow-up email say? And another thing.
And another thing. Okay.
You know what else I forgot to mention? I will never hear Despacito the same ever again. Every time I hear it, I think of you guys. And then I laugh, and then I roll my eyes.
Despacito. Okay.
Thank you, Gabby.
Thank you, Gabby. Okay, this one's from another Gabby. Gabby S. We got one while we were recording.
Oh, Gabby, you made it in just under the wire.
Okay, real quick, I gotta say this. Hi, guys. OMG. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm a little drunk. I love y'all. Here's my voice clip.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
Ready?
Hi, I'm sorry this is so late, but when I said I'd get on the tipsy train, I rode the tipsy train a little too hard.
Whoa, get it, girl.
So now I'm on the tipsy train again, but I am remembering, but I'm at a bar, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear me, but I really hope you will, but I just want to tell you guys how much you have meant to me in my life and how I awkwardly feel like I'm friends with you, even though, you know, I don't physically know you, but you guys are great. Please keep doing what you do no matter what happens. And I love you guys so much. I feel like you guys are sisters from another mister, and I hope you never stop what you're doing. Anyways, happy 100th episode. Much love from Gabby in Long Island.
Dang, Long Island.
We love Gabby. Man, there was so many Gabby. Gabby.
Oh my god.
I feel bad that I've never heard of sister from another mister before.
Shut up.
Literally never heard that before.
Are you kidding me?
Swear to God.
That's what happens when all your siblings are from the same two parents. Okay.
That's a good one.
Oh my god, I gotta pee now. I gotta pee for 3 hours now. All right, guys, we got one more audio that we're gonna play, but before we do, let's wrap this up. You guys, we love you so much.
Yeah.
100 episodes. I can't believe it.
We couldn't have done this without you.
Hell no. If you weren't listening,
far.
we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Here's to a fucking 100 more.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Possibly.
Sounds like so much work. Okay. Real quick, if you guys want to follow us on the social media, Snapchat, Twitter, IADC Podcast, at IADC Podcast. Facebook and Instagram. It's About Damn Crime. Run it together, space it out. We're there. Ooh, I haven't done that line in a long time.
Right. We also have a Facebook group. It's About Damn Crime. Just answer the 3 questions and bam, you are in.
Yes. You guys still have time to get us to 410 reviews. Just saying, we're reading them on 101.
101.
Okay. All right. All right. Let's do it with our last one. Our last message.
All right. Are we ready for our last message?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up? It's MJ.
And Bree.
We are from the Keeping It Casual podcast, and we got to send our love
to our girls, our podcast besties from It's About Damn Crime.
That's right. We own them now. They're our besties, okay?
You don't get them.
We're so excited and just proud of them. They're representing Las Vegas. They show what consistency and doing what you love can get you to. 100 episodes.
100 fucking episodes. We are so proud of you, and we are so proud to know you, and you girls are so talented, and we only see big things for you.
Oh, we want to collab. We've got some big things planned this year. Keeping It Casual.
It's About Damn Crime.
Hell yeah. Brittany,
it's going
Justine,
down.
Scott.
And Scott. Scott, the redheaded stepchild.
We love you girls, and we're so proud of you, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
You girls are amazing.
Keep it casual.
Bye.
Bye. Please do what you want. You can chop that up.
Chop up whatever you want with it.
We love you guys.
Mwah.
See you Saturday.
See ya.
I love them.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I love them. So, of course, check out Scott from Karaoke Biggie and the ladies from Keeping It Casual, Brie and MJ. Please go check them out.
Yes, we love all of them. I think we've made some like great podcast buddies. We didn't get a message from our good friend at Pudstalgic, Peter.
Peter.
What the fuck, Peter?
Okay.
Anyways.
Well.
All right, guys. This
love
is it.
You.
This is the wrap on 100.
Yeah. Love you all. We will see you next week for 101.
Oh, shit.
And, don't forget us. Don't forget us.
Don't forget us.
Don't forget us.
Don't forget to send in your stranger danger stories, please. Okay. Have a safe weekend. Have a good rest of your week, whatever. Love you.
Love you guys.
With all my heart and soul. With all mi corazón. Te amo.
All right. Hey, Brittany. There's a lot of desert out there.
Which I'm gonna fucking say to Jim Jones and his fucking co-leader tendencies. Fuck him.
And I'm saying to our first 99 episodes.
Dang. What are you saying, Scott? You gotta join in now.
Definitely till your first 5 episodes.
Oh no, the first 25.
Yeah. All right, guys. Love you. Bye.
Love you.
I love you.
Ugh.
Okay.
All right.
Now I gotta do my intro.
Okay.
My grandma intro.
Oh, I gotta pee real bad. Okay.
Do you want me to pause?
No, go ahead.
Okay, ready? Mm-hmm. Hello, everybody. This is.
We gotta go.
Welcome to an episode of It's About Damn Crime.
This is over.
My name's Brittany. Oh wait, my name's Gladys.
No, we're leaving. We're done with this.
Gladys.
Jesus.
Turn it off.
Hilda. Where are you, Hilda? Hilda.
Hilda's gotta pee.
Okay, bye, Hilda.
My name's Scott.